So we haven't even made it past the NBA Finals. We haven't gotten into the NBA draft, but the Orlando Magic, they've already made it very clear to us they are ready for next season and they're ready to get into championship mode as they've started off our offseason with a big-time trade for trading 4 future first-round draft picks, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Cole Anthony, in exchange for Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I want to say right off the bat that I think on so many different layers that this trade is going to be big time for the Orlando Magic. And I think people saying that coming off of 4 first-round picks is too expensive for somebody like Desmond Bane. They have to be casual basketball fans and they can't be understanding what's going on in the NBA right now, because if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been listening to Adam Silver talk over the last couple of weeks or so, he wants the NBA to be competitive as possible. He wants this parity to continue. We haven't had repeat champions since the Golden State Warriors. These last 7 years, there's been a different champion crowned each and every year. So when it comes to a player like Desmond Bane, who's never been an NBA All-Star, but he's as good as it gets for non-All-Star players. He's so much closer than an All-Star caliber player than he is to just a regular role player. So that's that. And we look at around the league and we look at certain players and you're looking at the price that it is to get these guys. We look at the price of what it was to get Rudy Gobert. We look at the price of what it was for the New York Knicks to go out and get Mikal Bridges next year. These guys that are, if it's a player that an organization feels like it's going to move your needle just a little bit closer to getting to that championship, teams are willing to pay a price because it's so competitive. One player, a Desmond Bane, could make a huge difference, especially in the situation of the Orlando Magic. Because when I look at this team, what they're subtracting and what they're adding, first we can look at these future first-round picks. We look at the Orlando Magic over the next 10 years, they're going to be set. They've already proved with Paolo, Banchero, and Franz Wagner, they're going to be able to compete, they're going to be able to win games, and they're going to be able to get into the playoffs. So these two guys are significantly young, and no matter what, if these two guys are healthy, we can get some decent players around these guys. We're going to be competitive at the bare minimum. So their future isn't in too much jeopardy coming up off those future first round picks. And also, Desmond Bane is just 26 years of age, significantly younger than Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So we have that. And then we look at what the Orlando Magic are losing when it comes to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Cole Anthony and what they're adding in Desmond Bane. Now, the Orlando Magic, they've been a team that I've been fascinated by over these last couple of years because I think they're so unique in their front court. They have so much size, so many talented players. When we look at a Wendell Carter Jr. being at least 6'10", we look at a Paolo Banchero being 6'10", 250 pounds. We look at a Franz Wagner that is 6'10", and can handle the basketball. So many different guys with so much size on this team that bring a different, unique set of skills. So they've had that over the last couple of years, and then they've also been a significantly great defensive team. We look at them over these last 2 years, they've been top 3 in defensive rating. They've had a year where they finished in the league top 3 in defensive rating with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and they've had that without Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So they're not going to lose their defensive identity, and also they were able to maintain being a top defensive team this year with missing a guy like Jalen Suggs, who was just coming off an all defensive year performance his previous season. So they have this defensive identity integrated into them. Coach Jamal Mosley, he hasn't integrated into his players. The Orlando Magic, no matter what, it seems like they're going to be a top defensive team. And one thing that the Orlando Magic has struggled with during the Paolo Banchero era, during the Franz Wagner era, is spacing and a more efficient offense. They've been towards the bottom of the NBA in offense this season, and it's mostly due to lack of three-point shooting and lack of spacing. It's hard for them to space the floor at times. And last year, we thought Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, we thought he was going to be that holy grail that the Orlando Magic was looking for, but I honestly don't know what happened. And maybe this is just age kicking in with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Maybe he is starting to decline because the last couple of teams that he went to, he was able to help them win championships. When we look at him going to the Los Angeles Lakers, helping LeBron James and Anthony Davis capture that championship, and then after that, going to the Denver Nuggets, playing even better than where he was playing with the Los Angeles Lakers, we all thought that trend was going to continue with the Orlando Magic, but unfortunately, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope the entire season, he could just not find his shot for the Orlando Magic, and it was very disappointing. So you're able to take away Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who, like I said, I'm a fan of. I like his game a lot, but he just wasn't he wasn't as productive as the Orlando Magic was looking for. And then with Cole Anthony, he never reached out to the potential to where he was drafted at in the NBA draft. So, and he was just playing a bench role for the Orlando Magic. So I don't think there's too much stress over losing him. And then what you're getting when you're adding Desmond Bane, and a lot of people don't understand how good Desmond Bane is, but he is a terrific, outstanding basketball player that can score 20 points per game and shoot 40% from the three-point line. Last year, he shot 43%. On his career, he's shooting 41% from the three-point line. And we look at the situation that he's coming from. He's coming from the Memphis Grizzlies, where he's played his last couple of years in his career with Jaren Jackson Jr. and with John Morant, two ball dominant players, two high usage ratings. So he's coming to the Orlando Magic. He's not going to be, it's not going to be something not having the basketball in his hands, because we know they have Franz, Wagner, and Paolo Banchero. So not having the ball in his hands, and it's going to be something that's familiar to him. And then also when he does have the basketball in his hands, because I believe this is going to be something that the Orlando Magic is going to ask of him, and that's perimeter shot creation and perimeter playmaking for other people. And that's the thing about Desmond Bane, which is so wonderful. Coming into the NBA, he was not that good at creating his own shot. Up until right now, he has gotten so much better at that. He can put the basketball on the floor. He can handle the basketball. He can score at all three levels. He can finish around the rim. He has the mid-range game, and he can also set up his teammates. And then to put the cherry on top of that, he is deadly off the ball as well. He has a very quick release. He's not shy when it comes to shooting the three-point shot. And I think at this stage in their careers, he's significantly better than Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So I'm just thinking about this. I'm just looking at the Orlando Magic, all of the adversity that they've been through over the last 2 years, the adversity that they've been through this season, having Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner missing for all those games. Ironically, with the same exact injury, they still find a way to make the NBA playoffs. But the real reason why I'm so big on the Orlando Magic is because I think they have a very special player in Paolo Banchero. This guy is 6'10", 250 pounds, and he's supremely athletic, and he has everything in his bag on the offensive side of the ball, but he's still honing it. He's still so young. This was just his third year in the NBA, if I'm not mistaken, coming in the league in 2022. But Paolo Banchero is a problem. So you get Jalen Suggs, who is a decent three-point shooter, back into this lineup, and then also get him next to Desmond Bane. That's going to be one of the better backcourts in the NBA, Jalen Suggs and Desmond Bane. And also, I got to talk about Desmond Bane on the defensive side of the ball. Now, he does have a short wingspan, but he does have decent length as far as his height goes. And the Memphis Grizzlies, he's coming from another defensive-minded organization, so he's going to fit right into the Orlando Magic, what they want to do on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't see no drop-off defensively, but I'm seeing a big rise on the offensive side of the ball for the Orlando Magic. But now we're talking about Suggs and Desmond Bane in the backcourt, and now you have a front court with Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter Jr., Franz Wagner's brother, Mo Wagner. So there's so many interesting pieces on this Orlando Magic franchise. You still have guys like Caleb Houston. You still have Tristan Da Silva. So I'm very excited to see what the Orlando Magic do next season. And this was the perfect time to do this. We just seen the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, he's going to be down for at least one NBA season. If I'm not mistaken, that's how long that Achilles rupture have you down. And then also we look at the Indiana Pacers taking advantage of this. Nobody's seen the Indiana Pacers getting all the way to the NBA Finals, being 2-2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So what we're seeing right now is a lot of teams becoming more and more hopeful. So when you have an opportunity to bring in a Desmond Bane, and it's exactly what the Orlando Magic need, and you have to come up for 4 future first-round draft picks, and I don't think all of them are like lottery type draft picks. I'm supporting this all the way, because the NBA, the Eastern Conference, is definitely wide open, and I think they just put a lot of pressure on my Detroit Pistons. So I'm hoping the Detroit Pistons make a move next, because we gotta match the Orlando Magic. That's one thing about our season last year. We was very lucky that those boys was injured for a majority of the year. It would have made our playoff rush or our playoff push a lot harder. But nonetheless, that's what I want to talk about with you guys today. I'm loving this trade by the Orlando Magic. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed, leave a like and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.